Well, I have prostate cancer. Haven't told you yet. I was diagnosed about 6 weeks ago, and I was concerned about it because my grandfather died of prostate cancer, and it spread into his bones and his lymph node, so he caught it too late. And so I've been monitoring it pretty closely, and they say that it's important to have a baseline, to have your PSA checked regularly. So I made this video so I could help you guys out there, guys who you should know about this, because it's the #1 form of cancer in men, #1. And so guys or gals who have a guy who should know this stuff, I want you to really pay attention to this, because you could be a prostate cancer victim like me. So I'm in the beginning stages of it, and I'm an intermediate case. And so what happened is in February of last year, they took my PSA. Let's see, what was it? Was it 2.85 or 2.65? And so the danger zone is 4. Okay. And so last February, 2.65. Last October, 3.48. Still under 4. So the doctor wasn't worried. But I asked for my labs, my October labs in March. I said, let me see those. So I put the chart together. So I've been keeping track of, I have like a little bit over 5 measurements. So I had a kind of a baseline. And I told the doctor, I said, hey, there's quite an increase from last time to this time. He said, well, it's under 4, so I'm not too worried about it. Well, I am. And he said, okay, if you're worried about it, we'll go send you to a urologist. And I went. They did the old finger trick where they stick finger in your backside and feel your prostate. Fun, fun, fun. And then they did a biopsy, and they do 12 cores. Looks like they divide it like a tic-tac-toe or something along those lines, maybe a little longer than tic-tac-toe because it's more of a rectangle than a square. And they what they do is they stick a gun in your backside, rectum, and they take core samples in this grid pattern of 4. So I had of the 12 cores, I believe I had 9 that had cancer in them. And they have this thing called the Gleason score. So that's how aggressive the cancer is. The best is 6. That means it's not very aggressive. The worst is 10. And I had, most of mine were 6s. I had a couple of 7s, and I had one 8. 8, 9, and 10 is higher risk. That means it spreads faster. And so I had 1 8. I had it rechecked at Johns Hopkins, and they said they downgraded the 8 to a 7. So anyway, so what I recommend is you have your PSA checked. If you have a father or grandfather who had prostate cancer, they say you should start getting your PSA checked at 40, and regularly, maybe even every year. And so that way you know if there's a big change. They say if there's a change in your PSA in a year period of time of greater than 25% increase, then you want to get that checked out and go to a urologist. That's what I was told. So what's the treatment? What do they do? Well, so far, what's going on is I've been getting scan after scan. They do a like a MRI, I believe. They do all kinds of scans, and I don't know the thing. I don't remember what things are called. One is called a PET scan. They wanted to see if the cancer got into the bones or any spreading. So what they do is they injected me with a radioactive material, and the radioactive material latches onto things that are kind of like newly grown tissue. So I have arthritis in my shoulder from doing bench press all these years. So I got a big hot spot in the shoulder. Had a hot spot in the rib because I broke my neck when I got crashed into by an SUV on my bike. That also broke my rib. I've also broken my ribs a number of times bouncing the barbells on my chest. So I got broken this rib several times. So that was kind of a hot spot there. So they had to do another scan, more expensive scan that cost about $10,000 to see if that was actual cancer or just the results of a broken bone and newly developed tissue. So fortunately, they don't have any indication that it spread. So that's a good thing, just isolated to the prostate, but there's a lot of cancer there. So here's what they do. what they do is they will inject, or they fill the prostate with 3 tracer beads. In my case, another option is they can make little 3 tattoo marks on the outside of the skin. The tracer bead seems to be a little more effective, and then they put you in the lay on this table, so you're really in position fixed, and they take 3 beams of radiation. Where those 3 beams meet, it destroys the tissue where those 3 beams meet. So they aim that at different areas of the prostate, all throughout the prostate, to kill the prostate. That's one option. Another option is just have it cut out. The risks are, number 1, is you can lose the ability to operate your sphincter, so you're leaking pee and have to wear a diaper. That's a side effect. Okay. Another side effect is you lose the ability to use the other sphincter in the back, and you have to wear a bag. So that's another danger. Another risk is you lose the ability to have an erection on your own, and you have to have some kind of artificial injection or one of these things they insert. So fun. So those are the possible side effects to the surgery and or the radiation therapy. So radiation therapy seems to have a lower risk, but doctor can tell you that, not me. I'm not a doctor. So once they do that, it destroys the prostate, and then the PSA is supposed to drop like a rock. Like if you have a prostatectomy and have it cut out, the PSA is supposed to drop to 0 because you don't have a prostate anymore, and it's supposed to drop precipitously if you have the radiation therapy as well. So they can use these radiation beams like a knife. The one that I'm having, they have an accuracy of 1/8 of a millimeter accuracy. So that's what they do, and so any one of these radiation beams going through your skin or going through the muscle doesn't supposedly do damage, but when the 3 come together, it's so powerful that spot, it does do damage to tissue, and that's how they do the radiation therapy. So that's how that works. So anyway, so I really recommend that you get your PSA checked, so you have a baseline, so you know that if there's changes in the future. Mine was below the danger zone, but still I have a prostate right now full of cancer, and so I really recommend you get yours checked. Follow the medical advice that you get from the doctors. And anyway, that's my story. I don't feel any pain. There's no pain at all, nothing. I wouldn't have even known. I would have had no idea. There's no symptoms whatsoever, other than been getting up to go pee at night, two times or 3 times a night, when I'm sleeping. So I guess that's kind of a sign too, because your prostate grows and it gets kind of squeezes your bladder a little bit. So that's another sign. So something to watch for. If you have to get up to use the restroom a lot while you're trying to sleep, that's another sign that may need to have things checked out. So, or maybe you're just drinking a lot of water. But anyway, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to go. It's like 40 times to the doctor. It's about 5 to 15 minutes for each radiation zap therapy session, and and then they put you on hormone blockers. I think for about 6 months after. So if I'm on this and I'm wearing a dress, you'll know why. I told my employees that yesterday, and boy, they just really heckled the heck out of me yesterday about that one. But yeah, hormone blockers for a little while. So I don't know what's going to happen. But I start talking in a high voice and wanting to go shoe shopping more. Well, I guess you'll know why. So have yourself checked out. It's this thing. This isn't something to mess around with. And even if there's side effects, dead guys, like the doctor said. People say, "Well, I don't want this to affect my sexual function." Well, it could, but dead guys don't have sex. So it's something you want to deal with. So because otherwise it can kill you. It eventually spreads to the other organs, and then it's just pretty much a death sentence if it starts spreading around. So get checked out. That's my story. And once it's over, it's supposed to be just smooth sailing. I've had a lot of friends who've had this that I've talked to, including a physician friend I know who had prostate cancer, went through it, came out on the other side just fine. Another friend just had this just a few months ago, went through it, came through just fine. So it's if you have prostate cancer, or you think you might, there's an end in sight, and you can live a good, long, healthy life afterwards. So So be telling you more about it. So I wanted to share the story with you and just raise your awareness to make sure you get checked out. Okay. If you have any comments or thoughts or input, let me know down below. And you want to share this with other people who may need it. It's a personal experience. And go ahead and click like. That'll help me out, promote this. YouTube promotes it more when more people click like. Subscribe to the channel. And that way when new videos come out, you'll be up to date right away.